Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a massive structural shift happening right now in the world of clean transportation. We are officially moving away from the era of being completely tethered to fixed grid chargers and stepping into this incredibly dynamic age of mobile power banks for electric vehicles. We're talking about totally untethering from the grid. And honestly, the implications here are absolutely immense. Let's get into it.
So, to really understand why this shift is happening, we have to start with a pretty practical question. What exactly happens when the traditional electrical grid simply cannot keep up with the explosive growth of EVs? We're adding electric vehicles to our roads at just an astonishing rate. But upgrading the actual utility infrastructure to power all of them, well, that is a much slower process. To wrap our heads around the sheer scale of what we're facing, let's talk about a staggering number: 500 million. According to industry projections, we are going to need 500 million chargers globally by the year 2040. To put that into perspective for you, we have fewer than 6 million today. Building out all that permanent infrastructure, that represents a massive $1.6 trillion cumulative investment. It's like building a whole new world from scratch. The crucial takeaway here is that we're heading a serious EV infrastructure bottleneck, and it's severely slowing down the whole clean energy transition. Getting a fixed charger installed isn't just about, buying the hardware. You're dealing with months, sometimes literally over a year, just for permitting, plus the massive expense of trenching through concrete to lay cables. And even if you do all that, local power grids often have severe capacity limits already. Oh, and on top of that, a recent AAA report revealed that extreme temperatures significantly reduce EV and hybrid efficiencies. So when vehicle efficiency drops because it's too hot or too cold, drivers have to plug in more frequently. That places even more unexpected heavy loads on a grid that is honestly already stretched to its absolute limit. This brings us right to the solution the industry is pivoting toward, and it's a complete paradigm shift. The old standard, the fixed infrastructure, requires 6 to 18 months just for utility interconnection, huge costs, and massive grid upgrades. But the new standard? Mobile charging. These units can be deployed in a matter of days, they are instantly scalable, and the absolute best part is they require zero fixed infrastructure or costly trenching. Basically, you bring the power to the vehicles, not the vehicles to the power. It's a total game changer. Moving into Section 1, Heavy-Duty Fleet Hubs. When we look at large delivery vans and commercial trucks, these vehicles need massive amounts of juice, and they really can't afford to wait around for grid upgrades. A perfect example of a real-world solution here is the Exos Hub. Exos recently secured a $3 million follow-on order for 12 of their mobile energy storage units, and they're being deployed by one of the fastest-growing autonomous fleet operators out there. By easing these mobile hubs, this operator is rapidly scaling their business across both North America and Europe. They're completely bypassing those years-long utility interconnection queues. They literally just drop the hubs in, and their autonomous fleets are ready to roll. Let's break down exactly how these giant, accessible power banks function. Exos expanded their hub lineup to tailor perfectly to different fleet sizes. For Class 1 and 2 fleets, there's a 210 kilowatt-hour model equipped with 2 CCS1 charging heads, which, by the way, is the standard fast charging plug for most non-Tesla EVs. That one starts at $158,000, making it super accessible for lighter fleets. Then, they've got a 420 kilowatt-hour model for medium-duty vehicles. What's absolutely brilliant here is they engineered it to stay under 10,000 pounds. That means a standard 3/4-ton pickup truck can tow it, no commercial driver's license required. And for the heavy-duty sector, they offer a massive 630 kilowatt-hour hub that maximizes power density without sacrificing that crucial portability. But here is where it gets truly fascinating. The Exos Hub features a modular architecture. It's kind of like a giant battery Lego set. If a fleet depot grows, they don't have to rip up the pavement all over again. They can just daisy chain up to 10 of these hubs together. That gives them over 6 megawatt hours of total capacity, all operating off a single pre-existing grid tie. It's an incredibly scalable solution that totally rewrites the economics of fleet electrification. Up next, Section 2, Shared Mobility and Rescue. Pivoting away from commercial trucks and over to everyday consumer mobility, I want to share a really powerful quote from Joshua Aviv. He's the founder and CEO of SparkCharge. He says, "Electrification should never be limited by where the grid is or how long it takes." I think that beautifully captures the empowering core philosophy driving this whole mobile charging movement. It is all about having accessibility right on demand. And SparkCharge actually put that philosophy into action in a very real way. Backed by $1 million investment, they teamed up with Zipcar and the Massachusetts Clean Energy Center. Together, they launched the first off-grid mobile DC fast charging hub in the Northeast, delivering high-speed charging without relying on grid upgrades at all. They placed this 320 kilowatt trailer at a Zipcar facility in East Boston, which is an environmental justice community. This is huge because it means they're delivering equitable, rapid deployment EV access to neighborhoods that historically might be underserved by public infrastructure. And they are doing the whole shebang without overloading the local grid.
Now, another phenomenal off-grid solution is happening right on the side of the road. Enter L-Charge. They partnered with EV Choice through a Sourcewell contract, making it super easy for municipalities and public sector buyers to get their hands on this tech. Basically, they built a mobile EV charging and roadside assistance vehicle that delivers 60 kilowatts of DC fast charging directly to stranded drivers. And get this, it actually features onboard power generation, so it creates its own power entirely off the grid. Instead of calling a tow truck to haul a dead EV miles away to a charging station, L-Charge just comes to you, juices up your car, and gets you back on the road. It drastically reduces costly towing events and seriously improves uptime.
Now, if you're sitting there wondering if this is all just some niche experiment, consider this metric: 7 million. That is the number of kilowatt hours L-Charge delivered to U.S. fleets in just the past year alone. 7 million. This proves that off-grid mobile charging isn't some distant science fiction concept. It's a high-volume operational reality happening right now. All right, moving on to Section 3, Robotic Parking Solutions. Let's look at a highly innovative solution for consumers in everyday parking lots. Meet Ziggy. Ziggy is a self-propelled robotic EV charging platform. But what makes Ziggy really unique is its dual purpose. Yes, it serves as a highly cost-effective alternative to digging up a parking lot just to install fixed chargers, but it's also equipped with large digital video monitors on its sides. So Ziggy actually acts as a mobile billboard, generating advertising revenue for property owners while it charges the cars. It effectively turns what used to be a massive capital expense into an ongoing revenue generator. Pretty clever, right? The user experience here is delightfully simple, and it solves one of the biggest headaches of driving an EV today. Here's how it works. Step 1, you reserve your parking space and the charger ahead of time through an app. Step 2, Ziggy autonomously navigates through the parking lot to your designated spot and literally, physically saves the space for you. No more circling the block. Step 3, you pull up, plug in your car, and just walk away. Ziggy magically turns any normal parking spot into a dedicated premium EV station on demand. So when you take a step back and look at all these solutions together, from the massive Exos hubs to the off-grid Spark Charge trailers to L-Charge rescue vehicles and even Ziggy robots roaming our parking lots, you can clearly understand why the financial projections are skyrocketing. The global mobile energy storage market is projected to leap from $58 billion in 2025 to a staggering $156 billion by 2032. That's a 15% annual growth rate, for sure driven entirely by the realization that we simply cannot afford to wait for the traditional grid to catch up. Which leaves us with a truly exciting and honestly provocative question to think about. If the future of electric vehicle charging is completely untethered from the grid, if clean power can instantly be deployed to autonomous fleets, stranded drivers, and everyday parking spots completely on demand, what limits are actually left on the clean energy transition? The technology to bypass our oldest infrastructure bottleneck is already here, and it's spreading like wildfire. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer. We'll see you next time.